Okay, Oval fans, hope everybody's doing well. I gotta say, this week was a pretty solid episode. I think it edges, it beats Sisters by a smidge. Sisters had its flaws, but overall it was an enjoyable episode. But I think the Oval just did a bit better. I think mainly it had to do with the little Ruthless crossover we had. But for the most part, the ending was pretty intense. But yeah, things are definitely building up as we inch closer to the mid-season finale. So this will be season 5, episode 6, Gone in a Second. I give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Now, before moving forward with the actual review, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like this video. Leave a comment about your thoughts on the episode. Hit subscribe as we get closer to 300,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. Because the more views the Oval gets on my content, the more, encouraged I am to review the episodes. Okay. So, Daikon is pretty adamant that Mike Jones is actually the first son of the United States. And Mike denies it, but he's immediately taken to the highest. River's like, wait a minute, come on now, this sounds a bit far-fetched. No, this is the first son, Jason Franklin. We're going to see the highest right now, but he's meditating. River, I'm taking him to the highest. So he pretty much barges into the highest trailer. He's like, Daikon, I'm meditating. Sir, you won't believe this. What's going on? This is the... Wait. And then, Tyrone instantly recognizes him, and I'm a bit shocked by that. But then again, the highest Daikon in a very few number of people in the compound have access to like the outside world. So I suppose they would know exactly who Jason is, being that he's been on magazine, probably during like the election period. That's probably where he was in a lot of press and whatnot. But regardless, Daikon asked to go to the finance trailer for the hotspot so we can use the internet to look into this more. So from there, it's interesting because, the highest offers Mike, chance to sit down, have some breakfast, because his cover story is, the reason I'm here is like I was in the woods with my uncle and, we were on our bikes and I got lost and, I was pretty much brought here, and I was just, hoping to kind of use a phone or something. It's like, oh, no, don't worry. We can take you to a phone, but we just need to check things out first. So then Daikon comes back later and pretty much says, yeah, sorry about the mix up. Turns out, the first son is dead and he just happens to look like him. But, I think for me, what would have made this scene a bit better was if we maybe got a little bit of the conversation that occurred between Jason and the highest while Daikon was checking in on things, because Daikon comes back, later in the episode and these two are just kind of in the middle of a conversation. And I really wish we, got a glimpse at what was going on. But the crazy thing is, and this is what people are talking about online, the highest just let Mike go. Just let him go. He did say like, hey, if you wanted to, you could stay here if you wanted. And he's like, I would like that, but no, my uncle is worried about me. But they do extend the offer for him to come back, and Jason's like, yeah, because, you've been wonderful and kind to me. River has, and even Daikon here. So he leaves and throws up the peace sign, and then the highest does the same. So then they go back to River, and, Daikon is like, I was wrong. So they apparently even fixed his bike. And, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, did they fix his bike? As in, like, did they mess around with it? Did they put an explosive in there? What's going on? But apparently, no, they legitimately fixed it, and Jason is free. And River's like, hey, you don't have to go if you don't want to. But again, he's like, yeah, I got to go. But, he says he'll, like, maybe come back or something in the future. So they just let him go. He gets on this bike. He goes to the gate. They pretty much give him the directions of, go down this road, take a right. You'll be in a small town, is it Rockwell, Virginia? And then from there, you'll see the highway, and that'll be it. And, yeah, River's like, wait, the highest just let him go. Why? Because he's the highest. So, yeah, this was a cool little crossover. Like I said, I wish we got a little bit more from it, just a little bit. It's kind of like when Barry got abducted. You know, he got abducted back in season 2. We saw him being brought to the compound. Ruth knocks him out, but then we never find out what happens. We just see him damn near naked on the dinner table at Nancy and Richard's house. So, yeah, I kind of wish we saw a little bit more. This wasn't disappointing because we have seen Jason interacting with, you know, a very select few characters in the compound for a few episodes. But I guess we got to take what we can get. But, yeah, I really wish we knew. If I were to make an educated guess, maybe because the highest is like, okay, well, we just scooped this guy up. We assume, Daikon assumed he was the first son. And I guess as a show of good faith, yeah, you're free to go. So, yeah, so that's pretty much all the Rakadushi stuff. So from there, at the beginning of the episode, well, yeah, Donald and Kyle rush into Hunter's room because, you know, they want to see how he's doing because, you remember, he just randomly got up from his, the hospital room, if you will, and then went up to his room and saw Victoria there with another person. So Donald and Kyle are probably like, wait a minute, the president's gone, we got to find him. Well, Hunter's gone, we need to find him. So he's knocked out. Victoria comes out of the restroom because remember, she's getting ready for the press conference with Eli. She is, you know, suspect number one is like, wait, you think I did something to him? So she goes over there and gives him a Will Smith slap that wakes him up. And, you know, he is still stunned about the overdose thing, that he got a bad batch. And, oh yeah, that's right. Because the doctor did say that he overdosed, but I don't think it was until just now that he found out, you know, the drugs were laced. So he's shocked about this. And from there, he can't even stand up because it's like, you know what? The press conference, because Victoria turns television on to show him that, you know, the vice president got sworn in. He wants to know how the hell this happened. And Victoria's like ducking and dodging the situation. But, you know, he's like, yeah, I need to get up because like the only way he can take power back is if he goes into the press conference standing up like, yo, hey, I'm the president again. I'm, you know, up and at him. I'm ready to go. But due to his kidneys, he cannot even stand on his own. How he managed to make it to the residency from the other room he was in is beyond me. But in any case, his kidneys are freaked up because he's like, you know, I want the doctor to come here and give me something immediately. And he's like, Donald's like, nah, I mean, your kidneys are so messed up. Like, if you had anything else right now, it would probably kill you. I mean, he's like, wait, are you telling me I can't do coke anymore? No, sir, you can't. Basically, any sort of substance and you're a goner. But I'm the president. You are a human, sir. And he basically just goes on a tirade because he wants, you know, all hands on deck for this. He wants, Alonzo brought into him. He's trying to like, he wants Sam because remember, he thinks Sam is the one who was in the bedroom with Victoria. So later in the episode, we see Hunter, you know, again, just barking for Alonzo to be brought in. And he is. And he wants him dead. And, you know, he's like, Donald's like, no, that's not a very good idea, sir. So, because even earlier in the episode, Victoria's like, don't blame him. This is not Alonzo's fault. You're the one who took the drugs. But Hunter is just pissed off right now. So eventually Alonzo's brought in. Hunter demands Kyle's gun. Donald's like, don't give him that gun. And it's kind of a back and forth until Hunter's like, if you don't give me your gun, both of you, I'll have you killed. So Kyle gives him the gun. Alonzo's like, what's going on? And he gets like 3 shots and he's down. So the question is like, if he's really dead, because I mean, he probably was wearing his bulletproof vest, but regardless, he probably dead. I think Alonzo's dead. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. I mean, there are a couple other scenes to talk about, which I will, don't worry. Dale still at Alan's apartment, you know, is talking to Alan over the phone. Alan is using a phone that the FBI agents gave him, which Dale correctly pointed out. He's like, hey man, I know there's a lot going on, but did you find that box? Yeah, I found the box. Well, yeah, keep everything in there safe because stuff is pretty crazy right now. Dale doesn't go into full details because he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, yeah, what do you mean, Dale? You know, I'm the one that's locked up. But Alan has no idea about the cartel stuff that Dale's involved with because now, you know, the Mexican cartel is after him. But basically, he's like, well, hey, man, look, stay in my place, lay low, nobody knows you're there. Well, yeah, the feds gave you this phone. Now they probably know I am because, they probably are listening to the phone call, which is hilarious because Alan's like, man, shut up. So over at Richard's house, Sam is over there eating breakfast. And Richard's like, so how is it? Richard's like, it's just a bowl of cereal. But he's like, yeah, I'm no Nancy. I can't really cook like that. But in any case, they kind of go over the details like, look, yeah, we got to find Jason. And it's like, yeah, I need to stop by the house and get some stuff, so I can get on that. It's like, look, you sure? Priscilla might have them guys there again. Speak of the devil, Priscilla and Nancy come in. Nancy seems to be back to her old self, and she's ready to, make Richard a full breath. Like, Richard, look at this bowl. It's like, no. Because Sam is quick to bounce out of there. But Nancy sees the bowl of cereal. Is like, look, let me fix you a good breakfast. And Richard, is kind of calm at first, giving her the cold shoulder. Is like, no, I don't need any breakfast. I need to get out of here and go to work. But then Nancy's really insistent because she can tell Richard is mad at her. And then he finally snaps on her. Because remember, she said all that stuff about her affair, a long affair with his dad, and the fact that he's bigger and better than him in bed. Richard has a reasonable sized chip on his shoulder. So from there he leaves. Then Priscilla's like, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Her and Sam have a brief exchange outside the house. Like, I want to come home, babe. I wish you would. How'd you get secret, what was it, special forces to be at the house? Come back over and you'll see. Again, it's just the same old with these two. Just whatever. So later at the White House, Max and Bobby are talking. They're standing outside of the Oval because that's where Eli is. And Max is like telling Bobby, you need to go try to find the First Lady because she came into the White House, but, she never came out. So she's probably somewhere around here. So Priscilla actually comes up, chats it up with Bobby. Max is like, oh, you see me here, huh? Because she finally does say hello to him. I'm wondering why she's being all flirty because, the last time y'all were one-on-one, you acted like you didn't want to even touch this dude. Somebody online said, it's probably going to be some sympathy sex later on, but you never know. So they agree to talk later. And it's funny because Max is like, oh, I guess you didn't learn. I guess you want to keep playing with fire and then Sam will use some real bullets next time. So then Victoria comes by and they let her into the Oval. And during that time, Bobby splits to go look for Simone. Victoria goes in the Oval. They kind of flirt for a little bit. They pretty much talk about the situation at hand. The fact that eventually Eli's going to have to go down to the bunker to see Simone and let her out. And, Victoria assures him not to worry about Hunter because, yeah, he's awake, but he is literally in no position to be any sort of bother to us. So let's not even worry about it. So then they kiss. And Victoria, I ain't gonna lie, she's looking pretty good in that dress. So from there, the press conference takes place. And I thought this was a very well done scene. They go up on stage and pretty much lie to the press about the fact that, there was a kind of a mix up with the medication for his seasonal allergies. And he was unconscious for a little while, but now he is fully awake and alert. But he does need to be on bed rest for a couple of days. And when Eli got up there too to speak, to answer the questions, a lot of the questions were pretty much brushed off, given the fact that they were like, hey, well, the doctor is going to come up here to thoroughly answer the question because somebody tried to like cross-examine it. It's like, so you say the president is well and all, but didn't you say he was unconscious for a period of time? Again, the doctor will come up here to, elaborate the situation more. So they pretty much, just give blanket statements. Oh, don't worry, the country's in good hands, until the president is able to take over again. He's very eager to get back to work. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a fun lie. This dude hasn't been working anybody but hookers and drugs since he's been in office. So after that, they're walking down the hallway from the conference. Bobby confronts Agent Kane, who's standing right outside of Simone's bunker cell, but he's not budging. And Bobby's like, wait, so you listen to the chief of staff? Well, I have orders from the president. The president's in bed. Actually, the vice president is now the president. So, okay, you want to do this the hard way? Don't worry, because Max lets him know that the vice president is on his way down to the bunker. So Kane is going to have to get out of the way at some point or another. So, folks, that is the episode in a nutshell. Gone in a Second. I feel like Gone in a Second either relates to like Jason just being at the Rakadushi for like a couple of seconds and now he's gone, or probably Alonzo, who showed up in this episode at the last second and he was shot down at the last second. So thanks so much for tuning in, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.